Well, Servcorp saw revenues and margins improve across most of its geographic regions in the first half. The company provides serviced and virtual offices right around the world. It's currently embarking on an ambitious expansion plan, including into the United States. For more on what the rest of 2012 holds, Servcorp COO Marcus Moufarrige joins me now live in the studio. Marcus, great to see you back here with us again. Standout elements in the results, obviously. Just want to focus on those again before we get into the broader landscape. How much are Servcorp's numbers an indication, I suppose, of business healthiness generally?
Yeah, we're really happy with the results. I mean, we would love to hit our numbers right out of the park, but we're pretty happy with this half. And we've got a lot of excitement around what is going to happen in the next year, although that's fairly muted, you know, based on the fact that it's pretty rocky out there. There are pretty tough trading conditions. But we're pretty excited, and Australia and anything China facing and the Middle East are all really strong right now.
So all in all, I mean, you've got serviced offices, virtual offices and meeting rooms. This cloud computing is a whole new concept that everyone's grabbing hold of with the latest iPhone 4S engaging that certainly. What's the demand picture look like for the Australian capitals when it comes to office space?
Well, I mean, Perth is very, very hot. Brisbane is also a pretty tight market. Sydney and Melbourne are strong, but not quite as hot as either of those markets. Obviously, the mining boom is driving Perth's demand up for everything. But essentially, the market still looks strong in Australia.
And what about the impact of the NBN and, of course, the 4G on telecommuting and the demand for virtual offices? Does that play a big role?
Yeah, I mean, part of our excitement about what's going to happen in the next, not necessarily just the next 6 months, but in the future, is there's a real change in the way that people are working. And the virtual office is basically gives people, I guess, a central gravity point, so if they're travelling everywhere, they can have an address that they can use as their business address, but they've also got cloud-based voice solutions that are really going to help them, and also a workforce behind them without spending too much.
What else is driving growth? Because I went to buy a laptop the other day, and basically you can pay less for hardly any storage space on your laptop now because it all is up there in the cloud and in virtual landscapes. So is that also the product change, technology advancements driving growth to a certain degree?
Yeah, I think we're right at the start of that. So I think we're part of I think our statement said muted excitement. Where part of our muted optimism comes from is probably best put by a client who was actually leaving us in Kuwait, and he wrote in a bit of an exit interview that he felt that every single business that's going from a start-up as a one-person operation to the point where they actually need to employ some people should use a virtual office as part of that gap. And there are also some fantastic cloud technologies that support that. So whether you're looking at storing your files in the cloud so that you can access them from anywhere, the more mobile you get, the more you're going to need to have the ability to be contacted and to have a good corporate presence at the same time. So now having a good corporate presence and mobility aren't mutually exclusive. You can actually do both of them, and so we're a really good complement to cloud products. So
are they essentially all the fundamentals of your growth strategy moving forward?
Well, I think that, you know, the virtual office has been a really strong focal point for us for a long period of time. But I think it's a combination. I think that flexible workspace and the ability for people to access broader markets, so get access to the billions of people that are a few hours to our north. I think that, you know, small Australian companies that have been marketing to individual cities in Australia are going to have much more of a capability to market themselves north. And in the same way, you know, we've just expanded right across the US, as you mentioned in your introduction. I think that, you know, people are very much parochial. They operate in one city. But the cloud and the virtual office gives them a capability to expand their access to markets. And so we want to help them to do that. And we think that by helping them to do that, that our business will be more successful.
So you're not going to be the only ones helping or trying to help them to do that. What are you going to put in place in terms of strategy to really ensure that market share?
Well, we've taken a really long-term view on technology, and so quite a few years ago, and for the last 10 years we've been working to interconnect all of our 130 locations around the world. So we've built what we call the Servcorp Global Network, and essentially it means that once you join us in one location, you can actually access us in any location, and all of the calls, all of the data actually flows across the Servcorp network essentially. So by building that mesh network, we've actually given these people a platform which enables them to expand really, really quickly, and we're really the only ones in the industry that have done that.
And in terms of I suppose the mainframe, or I don't know how you explain it, I guess the network of this,
Yes.
because it's so vast, are you tapping into other companies' resources to do that? And what about speeds across those distances?
Well, certainly. I mean, we've invested to protect the speed and the performance of the network,
Okay.
and we certainly use tier 1 carriers to help us. I mean, you have to work with the telcos no matter what, because they're incumbent and doesn't matter what market you're in. We have to work with those tier 1 carriers to provide our service, but
Sure.
it's a level of Australian developed intellectual property that we've laid over the top of that enables our clients to have mobility around the network.
All right, Marcus Moufarrige, Servcorp CEO, best of luck, and congratulations again on the results and the shift into the US. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.